Your mother's big ass. Talking dicks. Talking dicks. From the two dicks. Now we're talking dicks.
I should talk as well, otherwise it's talking dick.
Bi-weekly. Bi-weekly dicks.
Can you believe that?
Talking.
Episode 38. No, I take it back. Volume 38. When we say episode, we refer to...
The two dicks. And speaking of which, I have seen the completed episode, and I got to give you credit, buddy. You did it. It came out great. Really, it looks like it's a real episode, even though we're 3,000 miles apart. It works.
It's seamless.
It works.
It is seamless.
All right, seamless. We'll use seamless as working, and there are no seams at all. It's a great one. It's called East West Dicks. I'm on the East Coast. You're on the West Coast, and it's a nice piece of business.
It's a far cry from Alligator Dicks, which I wrote
and
slapped together. But that was our first attempt at trying to do an episode with 2,800 miles or 2,600 miles between us.
That was brand new pandemic. We didn't know what the hell was happening. We didn't know. Now we've got the flow of it all, and doing this has been helpful, I guess, in some way.
I haven't murdered anybody, so
we should.
This
you know
is
what?
my outlet.
I think a good idea would be to maybe show a little taste of East West Dicks right here. What do you think?
All right, just a snippet. We'll show like 10 seconds. How's that? Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Wet your whistle?
And that will be, I guess, when? Tomorrow morning, maybe? Tonight on the Patreon?
No, we're gonna do Tuesday, because tomorrow morning we have. No, the way it works is we don't want to release this and that at the same time, so we're gonna space it out one day.
Okay, on the Patreon though, it won't be here where our
Tuesday.
Talking Dicks.
Tuesday it will be on Patreon for Patreon members only. And how are people able to help support the two dicks, Al?
Well, we have two new members actually. In the last couple of days, we have Deb Swick, everyone's favorite.
Love the Deb Swick.
Deb Swick, and cousin Bobby.
Cousin Bobby
joined.
Holy shit!
Cousin Bobby joined.
Thank you, Bobby. Cousin Bobby.
Yes, and I think you might have met Cousin Bobby when we were in Atlantic City. We were having some cigars and some drinks after a show, and do you remember meeting Cousin Bobby?
I do, actually. Wow, that was a little over a year ago, wasn't it?
That's right. That was
June
Cousin Bobby
of 2019.
It seems like 100 years ago, to be honest, but it was only a year ago. Quite a different time, but yeah, he's now a patron of the patreon.com/the2dicks, and he'll be seeing East West Dicks on Tuesday along with Deb Swick and the other members. So if you want to see it, among other things, we have other things coming to the Patreon.
Now, I know that our Patreon supporters, it's growing rapidly, and we mentioned Deb Swick and Cousin Bobby, and there's a few others, but who was one of the first ones to join? Daryl
Williams.
And who was the second one to join?
Well, I'll let you say it.
Paul
I like the way you say
Francis Riley.
He actually outranks everyone. He joined at a higher tier than the others. He's a sergeant. We refer to him as Sarge on the Patreon. And the other ones are, I believe they're Flatfoots. But we're happy to have them. We don't care what they're called. And welcome to everybody. And like I said, Tuesday, all those people, others on the Patreon, can see the new episode. I know people want to see it. I was excited to see it. And like I said, I watched it about 4 times. I was very impressed. I knew of your editing skills.
He sent me a couple of notes, so I had to make a couple of tweaks, and also did some more sound mixing. I had to boost it up in certain places, but I have to say, I'm going to toot my own horn, considering that we're this far apart. I think I did a bang-up job.
Yeah, I mean, it's let's face it, what we're doing, filming, I'm filming my scene, then you're filming your scene, but it is edited in such a way that it comes out as an episode. And it looks like a real episode. There's a lot going on there, and that's S4, S2, S4. I mean, E4. Is it S2, E4? Yeah, I think that's what we're doing. I don't know.
It's episode 5.
Somebody better.
Season 2, episode 5. It is.
Is it episode 5?
Are we counting alligator dicks? Because then it would be 16.
Oh, I'd rather not. But we had commercial dicks.
We did have commercial dicks.
I didn't consider that really an episode either. That was more of a filler.
One more thing about Patreon before we move on. We also have exclusive Talking Dick episodes, and we have Helen Keeney. That's going to be released as well in the coming days, and also joining us
today. We're gonna record it after this record. We have a comedian, singer, songwriter Pat Godwin from the Bob and Tom Show, among other things. And if you go to Pat's page, check him out online. Really funny guy,
great guy, yeah.
And he'll be a lot of stories with old Pat, and we'll be telling them all on the Patreon. Another great little plus of the Patreon. So join today, patreon.com. You'll be happy you did. And now,
questions.
That's right. We have a question today, Alfred.
Yes.
Are you ready? This is on Instagram. Instagram is 2dicks2 is our handle there. 2dicks2. If you'd like to ask a question, get it on the old episode here, the volume, whatever the hell we're calling them. This one says, "What was your favorite episode?" What was your favorite episode? I guess of the 2 dicks.
Me personally.
Well, you can go first. So yes.
Okay, well, it's a hard one. It's a hard question to answer because there's the aspect of making it, having fun making it being arduous to make, editing. So there's these different aspects of it. I would say the most fun we had and the editing, clearly for me, hands down. Well, I'm going to go with the first episode, the interrogation, but also dog catchers. I think they're neck and neck. Dog catchers and the interrogation.
Those are your favorite episodes.
I think so.
Okay, I think mine would be the woman, because I enjoyed working in Atlantic City at night and then filming on the boardwalk during the day. It felt cool. It felt like we were really we were busy as hell.
See, in that regard, that felt like we were doing we were actually shooting a movie because we had.
Yeah, and it was kind of old school, doing shows at night and then waking up and doing filming and driving to the boardwalk and setting up and doing our thing there all day in the heat.
And then we
back to Atlantic City.
We had a break for lunch.
Couple hours.
Go back to shooting.
And then a show that night, and then we'd have drinks, cigars. It was cool. That was like a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. So that'd be my favorite experience, I guess, episode-wise. I think the first one probably just because it was fun and it was unexpected, and I thought it was a one-off. I never thought I'd have to see you again after that. So, I didn't think it was going to be 2 years later sitting in my closet.
What could be worse than seeing Al Ducharme again?
Pandemic!
In a closet. I'm sitting in the closet 2 years later, so I didn't see it coming. But
a lot of merch is going out the door there, Al. You've been to the post office a couple of times.
We've been moving some mugs. We've been moving mugs and coasters. So they've been going out, and I don't want to really get into that right now. That's annoying me. The whole shipping process has annoyed me. I did want to mention something. The other night, I was watching an old movie. I'm sure you've seen it. It's classic in a way. It was on TCM. Man Called Horse.
Richard Harris. Trying to.
and that's about it.
That's about it. Well, I mean, there's some other character actors that we would know, but no,
Not really.
But no big. Well, they used a lot of American Indian people too, as well.
They used American Indians as the background
Right.
people, but anyone who is somewhat of they needed as a character. And the best part, here's the best one: the character Richard Harris's character, once he kind of becomes initiated in the Indian culture, he's going to marry one of the women there,
Squaw.
the squaw, and the woman is beautiful. Oh my God, she's like stunning, and I'm like, okay, yeah, she's an Indian, okay. And then I looked her up while it's on, and she was Miss Universe. Miss Universe. That's who they have as an Indian squaw in 1895.
And what was her ethnicity? What was her background? Was she
Greek?
Greek.
And
A Greek
but
goddess.
we've been to Alaska. We've walked around Alaska. We've gone in bars in Alaska. We've seen the women. We've seen Native American women. I'm not trying to be offensive, but I haven't seen Miss Universe. I'll just put it out there.
Well, that was hot.
You know what I'm saying?
That was Hollywood. Although
That was Hollywood.
There was a movie called The Iger Sanction with Clint Eastwood where they used a real
Good movie.
Indian woman as his trainer when he went to the desert, and she was drop dead gorgeous. So, but
Right.
like anything
Could've been
else, the Native American women that we've bumped into, not Miss
No.
Universe.
Miss Mars.
We're going to get letters, aren't we? We're going to get some letters.
I hope so. I hope
anything.
so. I mean, let's be honest.
We would love to be
I mean, it's
canceled.
just-
We would love to be
But-
canceled.
But in the background, they have the real Native American women. They're back there, and one of them, Harris. Even there's a scene that they probably wouldn't even do today. But one of the woman wants to marry him, and the chief is trying to tell him that, and then Harris is like, "What? Her? No
way.
Yeah,
then-
because she looks like a real Native American Indian, whereas this woman is Miss Universe. For
He's
God's
got
sake.
the Greek goddess, or the real,
yeah, squaw.
well, the one the chief is trying to get rid of. Even he's like, "Arr. I
He has to
I
get-
have two cute daughters over there, but
Well, if you haven't seen Man Called Horse, just the hanging from his tits scene is well worth your. It's well worth your price of admission.
It's so painful to watch. They take, they thread his nipples, they thread his man boobs,
Yes,
and
sir.
they dangle him and spin him around. And first he smokes peyote, right?
Right.
Am I ruining it?
It came out in 1970. I think
It's actually a very good movie.
I think
It's a good movie.
they made 2 sequels after that: Return of a Man Called Horse and Triumph.
Let me ask you
of
a question
Man
now.
Called
Would
Horse.
you return after they spun you by your tits?
Well, Harris did for the sequel. They did the same scene again. They did he had to come back, and then they had to put him through. And by the way, sir, if you had stayed with Longmire, you would have seen that scene in Longmire. Those are the Cheyenne Indians. The same thing. They do it to Lou Diamond Phillips. It's called the Vow to the Sun. And Lou Diamond gets strung up and has to stay out there for 24 hours. So it all comes back to Longmire. It all circles back.
Well, now I have to
Yeah.
watch that now,
You'll have to watch that.
just for the man tits.
It is quite a picture, though, of that Man Called Horse. If you haven't seen it, folks, check it out. And that's it. That's all I got.
All right.
What about you?
I'm good. I'm looking forward to hanging with Pat, and I'm looking forward to posting our new episode on Patreon.
Yes.
Only on Patreon for Patreon members only. Hello, please.
Subscribe. Mary.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money.